Good afternoon, I'm Patrick Serrano, and this is the KQBH News Update. With Los Angeles County's current COVID-19 infection rates falling to 1.6 per 100,000 residents, the county can now officially relax its business restrictions into the least restrictive yellow tier. As long as the county stays below 2%, Los Angeles County can stay in the yellow tier. This will allow fitness centers, card rooms, wineries, and breweries to increase indoor attendance to 50%. Bars can open indoors at 25%. Outdoor venues such as Dodger Stadium can increase capacity to 67%, and amusement parks can allow up to 35% capacity. Restaurant capacity will remain at 50%, but will now be allowed to turn on their televisions. Because counties are permitted to impose tougher restrictions than the state allows, LA County announced that indoor museums, zoos, and aquarium spaces will need to restrict capacity at 75%, as well as maintain 75% capacity at grocery stores, retail stores, hair salons, barbershops, and personal care businesses. California State aims to fully reopen its economy on June 15th, as long as vaccine supply is sufficient for residents 16 years old and older who wish to be inoculated, and if hospitalization rates are stable and low. Cal State Los Angeles University announced they will be postponing their 2020 and 2021 graduation ceremonies previously scheduled for May 29th. According to an email from their Office of Communication and Public Affairs, the ceremony will be held at a future date, but the date has yet to be determined. Cal State LA's graduation event had been scheduled to take place at the Pasadena Rose Bowl Stadium. However, family and friends were not allowed to be invited, and only graduated students were allowed in person and needed to sit 6 feet away from each other. When Cal State LA received, quote, heartfelt feedback from students when they learned they would not be provided a normal commencement ceremony, the university announced the postponement. The university's virtual commencement event is still scheduled to launch on May 26th. The Museum Plaza de Cultura y Artes, located in downtown Los Angeles, is now giving $1,000 grants to artists for financial emergencies due to COVID-19, and up to $5,000 grants to help artists complete creative projects that were halted due to financial constraints during the pandemic. The Artist Relief Fund, administered by Plaza de Cultura y Artes, has $100,000 to give to artists who serve and reside in eastern or southwestern Los Angeles County. The application submission deadline is due on May 30th, 2021, at 5 p.m., and grants will be awarded by June 30th, 2021. For more details, you can visit the website eastsideartsinitiative.org/guidelines/. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has refused to identify the deputy involved in the shooting of Fred Williams III, who was killed during a foot chase in Willowbrook in October 2020. The shooting was the first deputy shooting captured on department-issued body cameras. Sheriff's officials say deputies were conducting a routine patrol check of Mona Park when they noticed a group of 10 to 15 people, one of whom, quote, was holding a firearm in his hand. Chasing Williams on foot, the sheriff's department said Williams put a pistol in his pocket and ran behind a house, climbed on top of a garden shed, and was then shot with the gun in his hand as he jumped a fence into another backyard. The agency said Williams was on parole and prohibited from having a gun. Autopsy reports determined that Williams died by a, quote, gunshot wound of back. Fred Williams III's father, Fred Williams Jr., has not been satisfied with the sheriff's department's explanation, and when asked for the name of the deputy who shot his son, his request was denied. The LASD, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department's behavior of withholding information such as names of deputies is unique, as the LAPD at Los Angeles Police Department has publicly identified officers in each of the 88 shootings that occurred between 2018 and 2020. So far, after being sued by the Los Angeles Times, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department has identified deputies in just more than half of the 22 shootings in 2018, one of the 28 shootings in 2019, and none of the 33 shootings in 2020 last year. According to a study made by Advancement Project California and Push LA, the Los Angeles Police Department's traffic stops are racially and economically biased, and reported that black drivers in Los Angeles are 5 times more likely to be pulled over and 9 times more likely to be arrested for traffic violations than white drivers. In their report titled Reimagining Traffic Safety and Bold Political Leadership in California, the study analyzed public data from 2018 to 2020 and recommends a number of changes to address the disparity, such as removing police officers from traffic enforcement and instead relying on unarmed staffers trained in de-escalation and implicit bias. According to the report, Latinos are 1.6 times more likely than whites to be stopped while driving and 3.5 times more likely to be arrested for traffic violations. The study showed the LAPD spent an average of 22 minutes on black drivers while spending an average of 15 minutes on stops involving white drivers. I'm Patrick Serrano for KQBH News, 101.5 KQBH LP, Los Angeles, California, a community service of Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory. You can find us on the app LPFM LA or ednixon.com.